Morning, good afternoon, good evening, based on whichever time zone you are. Thanks for joining. Today we'll be having two parts to this session. The first part would be best practices for beginners, as some of you have requested. The second part would be the technical analysis of stocks. The agenda for this session would be which stock markets and exchanges to begin trading, which strategies to begin, which stock trading platforms to choose, which stocks to choose, when to buy a stock and when to sell a stock, and lastly, we'll go through the questions which some of the group members have had. As you guys know, there are various stock markets, and you have multiple of options on trading from various exchanges. Uh, as a beginner, it's a very important to answer this question on which stock exchanges you would like to begin trading, as this would lead to answers of subsequent questions that we'll be discussing further. For someone who is interested in beginning trading in Canadian stock market, we have TSX, TSXV. For people interested in both Canadian and US stock markets, these are some of the stock exchanges I have listed. There are few more. For India, people who are actively investing or would be interested, the two big stock exchanges are NSE and BSE. For Pakistan, it's PSX. Uh, how it becomes important to choose from these stock exchanges is it's your profit that you would like to make from these stock exchanges, not because people are asking you to invest in those exchanges. It's based on your analysis and uh, how much you would like to be active in understanding how the market is behaving, which are the stocks that are performing well and can help you in reaching the profit levels that you are expecting out of it. As a beginner, my recommendation would be to start with one particular stock exchange based on whichever country you are currently. If you are in Canada, you could start with stocks on TSX. If you are in Pakistan, you could start with the PSX stocks. Um, Once you gain confidence of one particular stock exchange, the stocks in that particular exchange, and you understand how the market behaves, you understand which are the stocks that are helpful for you to have in your portfolio in short term or in long term, and you kind of develop your own profit making strategy, then you could move to other stock exchanges. Beginning with multiple stock exchanges and not able to track which stocks in which particular stock exchange can uh, give you profit consistently is some of the mistakes that people usually make, and I would recommend to start with one and not begin with multiple to be at to have a consistent profit making strategy in your um, trading skills. Now, once you decide which stock market you would like to invest, it's very important to understand yourself what kind of trading strategies that you would like to adopt based on your profession, based on your background, uh, based on your current personal conditions. um, you need to answer whether you would like to go for scalping, which as a beginner is not recommended at all. Neither is day trading, because these, as you can see, are short term. Scalping is basically for highly experienced professionals who are doing trading in and day out. uh, Same as day trading. As a beginner, the recommended trading strategies would be starting with swing or position, which is also called known as long term. In these strategies, you choose a particular stock, buy it, and hold it either for several days or weeks. If you are holding for long term, you hold it for weeks, months, or years until it reaches the price that you desire to sell it. Now, the third question that you would like to answer is which trading platform to choose. Again, this depends on which trading market you want to begin and what kind of strategies that you want to use for trading. As a beginner, as I recommend you doing either swing trading or long term, I would suggest to use the platform which charges minimal to no commission on your trading. What it does is it avoids you on losing amount on each trade for be it short term or be it long term. There are multiple options for choosing trading platform. It varies from country to country depending on the stock exchanges. These are some of the ones which are available for uh, folks in Canada, and some of these are also um, facilitate the stocks, the ETFs on US stock exchanges. Uh, Based on what I have personally used, I personally recommend Well Simple Trade as it offers commission free trading. However, it's just a mobile only app, and people who do more frequent trades, uh, if they prefer a website, then Questrade is a good option. Questrade also offers good rate in terms of uh, per trade. So you could use it for trading in Canadian stocks or also US stocks. Now, which stocks to choose? On daily basis, we get questions in the group uh, on XYZ stock. Is it good? Can we buy this stock? Is it good to have in the portfolio? And these are uh, good questions, and I would encourage people to continue asking, as it's better to get someone suggestion instead of buying a stock and ending up losing from that stock. So suggestion would be to choose the stocks which are fundamentally strong and safe. Filter the stocks and add it to your watch list. Please do not buy any stock if someone says that buy it immediately. Watch it, watch its trend, how it is performing, see whether it would be in a range where you would like to buy, see that whether it would reach a range where you would like to sell, and most importantly whether it would give you the return that you are expecting out of a stock. Mostly people have ask for ROI, that is return on investment. What I encourage people is to look for HROLI, which is high return on low investment. Now, when to buy a stock? My recommendation based on my experiences and the strategies that I have adopted, I always recommend to buy the stock when it is low. Please avoid buying a stock if the stock price has gone high. Why do I say that? Is if you buy a stock at a high price, unless it goes higher, you won't be making profit. Uh, if you buy it lower, there's a high probability that it would go high and you could make a return, positive return. Now there are various trends in which case you would be able to buy at low and then sell high. We discuss on which stock trends or in which indicators you could get a stock at a lower price and which indicators could help you to get sell or get a stock at high price. So never hurry in buying a stock when it is going up and you feel that you might lose on getting the lower price. The stock market trend is, it if it goes up, it is going to have correction and it will come down at least a bit. On the other hand, if it goes low, there would be a trend reversal and it would move up. So in whichever trend you start following a stock, try to buy when it is low. Now, again, touching to the point on when to buy, since I have been following very closely Toronto Stock Exchange and how the stocks and the stock exchange itself moves, my personal observation is, and uh, based on what I have been doing as well, practicing as well, is buying the stocks either towards the end of the market or end of the trading hours or after it. Why do I say that? It it helps you to save on losing on the day when you buy a particular stock. There's no guarantee as such at what price, at what time the stock will hit its lowest price. However, buying towards the end of the day is preferable, as if the market goes down, it is usually observed that the prices are lower towards the end of the day, and even if you buy at a price which is not the cheapest or the not the lowest for the day, you don't lose much. uh, Here it applies for the stocks which you don't have in your portfolio, and you could also do it for stocks which you already have in your portfolio. The motive here is to save on losing out by buying a stock early if the stock price goes lower. Some of you might feel that you are not getting the cheapest price of the stock on that day or the lowest price of the stock on that day. That's fine. It's better to buy a price at no, buy a stock at a higher price and lose because the stock has gone down than trying to get the at the lowest price for the day. uh, how to get as low as possible, I would be covering in a separate session, as some of you who have been following my messages in this past uh, week on how do I go about filtering the stocks and try to get at as low price as possible. Um, it's a whole it's quite a bit to explain in this particular session, so I'll be covering that in a separate session. Now, one key point which I have been stressing in my messages as well, that is using limit buy for buying stocks if you are using well simple trade. What limit buy does is it it gives you the flexibility to choose the price at which you want to buy. If it reaches that limit buy price, it will be bought. If it doesn't reach, it won't be bought. So at what price should you be setting it? The reference will come from your technical analysis of the stock. So you should be setting the limit buy price based on the recent support levels of the stock. um, I have seen messages from people saying that the limit buy price what they set, it doesn't hit. In that case, uh, what you need to do is you need to go back to the stock's performance, check how the stock has performed within 1 week, within 1 month, within 3 months, and trace back its support levels. It's highly possible that some of the support levels which are closer to its current price, it would hit that, and your limit buys would execute if you set limit buy price at that limit. Now, one tip for working professionals, I would suggest, being one of the working professional, is that do not stress yourself in tracking the stock movement during your working hours, as it might impact your work. So you can do that analysis after trading hours and set your buy limits based on the analysis after trading hours. Usually, I find that if you follow that particular day's trend and trace back a week or a month, um, you reasonably would find support levels wherein you could set buy prices, which might get hit the next day or few days after you set the limit buy. One advantage here, which I shared in the group yesterday as well, that if you set a limit buy price, let's say for example, yesterday's case for MIR, I set it at 0.39. The stock opened at 0.39. The trade got executed. If it would have opened at lower than that, even then the order would have executed. So limit buy helps you to buy stock at a price that you set as limit buy price or lower. Now, when to sell a stock? Sell the stock when the stock price is higher than your average price. I would always recommend to hold on to the stock until it has crossed your average price. Avoid selling the stock at loss. Since you are you would, as a beginner, would be doing swing trade and long term trade, there's no need to panic that if the stock is going down you would be losing uh, too much money, so you should sell it at a loss. There are some exceptional cases, as it happened this Thursday, wherein a stock like HCL went too much low, but as you would have noticed that on Friday it recovered. So gauge your risk sustenance capability, and based on that, hold on to the stock in most cases. If you could bear the loss that the particular stock is giving, if it is going low. If you feel that the loss is too much, uh, you won't be able to recover that loss from that particular stock. Only in that case, take a decision to sell the stock at a loss. Now, coming to what should be the selling price for the stock. Now here it depends if you are buying for long term or short term. Uh, your set sell price should be closer to the resistance level of the profit that you expect from a stock. Um, Again here the stock analysis comes into picture, and which assists you in setting the sell price limit, so that when the stock reaches that price or higher, your order gets executed and your stock is sold. Uh, just for explanation, I would take an example of SCL stock and how you could set limit buys and limit sells. One very important consideration here, as I had mentioned in a few slides before, is your return on investment. When you are buying a particular stock and your limit buy has executed and you have the stock in your portfolio, even before that you need to analyze on how much return do you want to take out from that particular stock. Once you gain confidence that a particular stock will be able to give you X percentage of or X dollar of return in, say, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year, that's where you need to take the decision for buying that stock, and setting the limit price based on the support levels of the stock history from past 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, or 6 months. Um, Here, as an example, I would say that if I would like to have SCL stock and would want to make $1,000 profit, uh, I would go about like this. I would set limit price, not just one, multiple limit prices. Uh, in this case, I have set one limit buy price as 3.50, another limit buy price as 4. I, I can set quantities based on at which price I feel it is closer to the support level. So if your stock analysis says that the lowest support level which it could reach in one or in 1 day or few days, go for the lower one, but also set a limit buy price a little higher, meaning at a support level higher than the lower one, in which case if the stock price goes less than, let's say, in this less than 3.5, it your both orders will execute, and you might get stock at a price which is lower than 3.5, all 500 stocks. However, if the SCL in this case would have reached 3.90 and not 3.5 or lower, in that case at least your one limit buy will execute and you will have 100 stocks of it in your portfolio. Similarly, for limit sell, since my target was to have $1,000 as profit, as you could notice that 400 shares, if it I have in my portfolio at 3.5, I'm trying to expect a $2 profit per share on my 400 shares which I bought at 3.5, and another 200 on shares which I buy at $4. So effectively, I would be making $1,000 profit, even though my limit buy and limit sell prices are different. So this was what I wanted to share with you guys, and would be happy to answer any questions that you have in the slides that we went through, or any other questions that you would like to ask.
Hi, Kamal. This is Aditya. I have got a question regarding the limit buy and limit sell that you just mentioned.
Mhm.
Okay, so one question that I have is, say for example, if I'm using a CIBC Investor Edge trading account, so how does that option work? So initially, only when I buy is when I can set the sell price, or can I set both at the same time? So how does it work?
Uh, Based on simple trade, I
Mhm.
I see that you could set limit buy for buying, but until that stock is in your portfolio, meaning until that buy order is executed, you don't get an option for limit sell. So once you have a stock in your portfolio, then you could set a sell limit sell price.
Okay, got it. Makes sense. Thanks for that.
Yeah, one thing, guys. Further to this question, if you are putting both orders on the same time, and like let's say first you executed the sell order and then you enter in the system the buy order, so it's essentially like you are making a short sell. So your question from your point of view, what I'm getting it is like from the long point of view. So as Kamal mentioned, correctly. So you have to be having the stock first before you can set in the your setting side.
Okay, got it. Thanks for
Hi.
that, Karan.
Hello, this is Pankaj. So you mentioned about short sell. So are you saying that if it does the sell order executes before buying also?
If it is going through the short sell, then it can be, but I have not done this personally on the well trade. But in a general scenario, when you're trading, you can do this. You can have like short selling thing. You can sell first and then you can buy later. But how the wealth simple supports this, I have no idea, because I don't do the short selling thing at all. But still we
Right.
have this thing, a general phenomena in the market. We can do that.
Yeah, I know about short sell, but I was wondering that
Yeah.
for
Oh,
stock.
yeah, from the well simple, I have not done this. So well, the guys who are doing this through well simple, they can have a better answer to this. But you have to be the general answer is like, yes, you have to be owning the stock before you need to sell
Right,
it.
right. Okay. Uh, then Kamal, I have a question for you since you were talking of SCL, right? Um, so let's say like HCL, you have also have a strong commitment, like HCL will should cross 8 to 10, maybe in 1 or 2 months time, right?
The timeline might be not.
I'm just giving an example, let's say in terms of short and long, let's say 3 months, okay?
Mhm.
And then you were saying that, not you are saying, okay, let me take my example, put my case, and I assume that, okay, should I keep it or should I, in that case, make the profit, let's say it reaches from 3.5 to 5, sell it, let's say it reaches 5 in a 1 week time, sell it or hold on? Like, what should be the strategy here?
So that's a wonderful question. Let's take just for this discussion that you have 500 stocks of HCL at an average price of 3.50. Okay,
Okay,
and it reaches 5.50. So you
okay.
made $2 profit on your 500 stocks. Your target was to make $1,000 from it, and you that it has reached. Now it's a dilemma whether you want to hold it, as you know that it can reach $10,
Right.
$15, or even the 52 weeks max $18.
Mm-hmm.
And in that case, what I personally recommend is hold
Mm-hmm.
it, hold it, as there's very low possibility or probability that the stock price might come down from 5.50 to 3.50 again. And your if you sell at 5.5 and then would like to buy it again, you would get at a higher average price.
Right, that's the
And
reason I was asking. Mm-hmm.
if you buy the same stock at a higher average price, effectively you are nullifying your profit that you made by buying at a lower price. What I mean is, if you bought at 3.5 and you sell it at 5.5, you made $2 profit per share. But
Mm-hmm.
again, you went and bought that same stock at $5 price
Mm-hmm.
because it was not available, because it's not going at 3.5. You had to buy at
Right, right,
5.
right.
So you use basically the profit that you made from HCL, you used to buy HCL again.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
effectively, you are not utilizing the profit that you could have gained by just not selling it and letting it grow up to its usual average price or even the 52 weeks max.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks,
Right.
Kamal.
One thing I need to add here, thank you, Kamal, for answering this question very clearly. Before that, everyone should first know their trading strategy. The first question to be asked to yourself is like, you are an investor or you're a trader? So this is very important question to know. Like, if I take this question from this angle, and let's say you answer like you are an investor, then forget about the daily movements in the price. If it is going up or going down, like you are an investor, you're long term, you're looking for a long term. Then even if price drops from $5 to $3, you're not worried because you are holding it for a long term. Let it be, for example, 6 months to 9 months. Though it is not considered as a long term, but medium term, you can say. So let's say you are holding it for 6 months and price is going from 5 to 4 and 3, then going to 6. So you don't need to worry about that because you are a long-term investor. So and the answer to your question from this point of view is like hold it. Okay, now if you answer yourself like you're not an investor, you are a trader, then in trader you need to see you are a intraday trader or you're a swing trader. If you are a swing trader, means you hold it for like 2 3 days, 4 days, a week or so. So in that case, what I would recommend, like if it is going to 5, a 5 is, for example, it's a strong resistance and you say
Uh-huh.
it will not go above 5, and
Uh-huh.
in the past it has shown the same trend that whenever it hits 5 it goes down. So
Mhm.
in this case, what you can do, like sell it at 5, realize the profit of $2 for, if you had bought it for 3, realize it, the $2, put it in your pocket, because if it is going below 5, then you are actually losing the part of your profit. So now since you have sold it at 5, now the trade is over. Don't link this trade to your next trade. The next time you might find, okay, after this is done, now you come and see, and if you're interested in buying the same stock again, this is also another question, because at that time when you sell it, you might find another opportunity which is more attractive than SCL given at that point of time, because you
Mhm.
need, in a nutshell, you want to maximize the earnings of your portfolio, not the earning from one single trade, or from one
Agree.
single stock.
Right.
So at that point of time when you are selling this and you have enough cash liquidity in your hand, see at this point of time, do you have any other option better than SCL? If yes, go for it, so that you can maximize your returns. If still SCL finds to be a good option to maximize your return, go for SCL. But at this point of time you might not find it again at 3, maybe you find it even lower or even higher. But don't, what I do, like I don't relate it to my previous trade. The thing that is gone, don't look for that. Now you can, what you can do, like you can find your support point, and from the support point you can see that at what price you would like to buy this based on the support. And this, you need to identify that level, that whenever the stock hits this level and it starts going back again upward. So it had hit the support and actually has moved upward. It might happen that it will hit the support and it will go downward. So wait for it till it hits the support and has changed its trend a little and started moving up. So this is the point when you will enter. So next time, maybe it's like if it is like a sloping upward trend, so
Mhm.
you might not, last time you bought it for 3, that was a support, and this time 3 might not be a support. This time like 3.5 is a support. So buy at 3.5. Don't wait for the stock to go again at 3. It might not go because the support is now at 3.5. So you can buy again and sell it at 5, or next, let's say this time it is 5.5, because it is sloping upward support, not a horizontal support, a
Mhm.
diagonal curve maybe.
Mhm.
So look from this both angles, like Kamal also mentioned very clearly, like it is, uh, you will be averaging out. This is one strategy. Other strategy to be considered as well is look from the overall point of view for the whole portfolio return. See yourself an investor or see yourself a trader. I think this is the common question for everyone, like when they buy the stock then start going down, when they sell it after you sold it, then it starts going up. So this, the entry and exit points remains to be a question for everyone, even someone is like trading for like more than a decade. So entry and exit always remains a very crucial point. So consider this from, and don't panic yourself when price is going down. And ask yourself, you are an investor or trader. If you're an investor, you don't need to worry for the daily price movements or a weekly price movement. You are safe from a longer term perspective. I hope that
Okay.
answers you.
No, definitely, definitely, it helped. That I think the most important question was you need to decide whether you are a swing trader
Exactly.
or an investor. That makes a lot of difference.
Exactly. If you
But,
answer this yourself, you will feel at ease.
right,
Otherwise, like you will, every day you will be in trouble. You will not be able to sleep.
right, right.
I'll give you some of the guys example. They buy at, for example, Air Canada at like 23.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and now they are not able to sleep
Right,
because
right,
it is going down. Because
right.
every one of us, like they are trading in Air Canada. The whole world is trading. Like if you talk about TSX, the TSX, and one of the most commonly traded stock is AC. And
Right.
now those guys who has bought it on last Monday were at a high price 23.59. Now it is like at 17.5. So
Right,
they are not able to sleep. Guys, what's wrong in this? Stock
right,
market has to go down. It has to take correction, and it is good for the market because this is the buying time. Otherwise, if the stock always goes up, when you will
yeah.
buy?
Bye. Yeah.
So
Nobody
I will
will.
be covering, yeah, I will be covering this AC thing after Kamal has finished his session. Then we will discuss more in detail. I have taken a lot of time from Kamal. Sorry, Kamal, for that.
No,
Yes, go
no,
ahead.
no. I really appreciate Tahir for pitching in and answering, and Pankaj for asking. I would also like to add, the, as Tahir mentioned, about switching the stock from one to another. Um, as you had mentioned scenario that you got your profit from HCL and you decided to sell, uh, you could take a decision for sell if you find that if you sell HCL at 5.5 and there is another stock which can grow faster than HCL and you don't have funds available in your stock to buy the other stock which can grow faster. So I'll explain with an example. Uh, I had FFH which is at a higher price in terms of dollar and percentage. It is not as volatile as SCL. I I wanted to have funds to buy SCL. So what strategy I applied here is I noticed that FFH, if I sell, I'll have funds to buy. If I sell FFH, I'll have funds to buy more HCL. Since the HCL on Thursday went by over 30%, I was in a position to have funds to buy it. As some of you in the group have asked that they have run out of funds and they cannot buy more for averaging out. In that particular case, you could take a decision. I just gave an example here. You It depends on what stocks you have in your portfolio and which are the ones which you feel that are higher performing than the others, and you could sell out the ones which you think will grow slower than the ones which are growing faster to have it more. Does that?
Yeah. That's a very good point as well, right? Yeah, I'm finding both the points very good actually. Yeah, you really need to learn how to strategize. Yeah. Thanks,
Exactly.
Kamal, and thanks, Nair. Yeah. I appreciate
Welcome.
that.
Okay, so any other questions from people who are in group on call now?
Hi Kamal, actually I want to ask like how many times we can do day trading or in TFSA account, like in a week, like 3-4 times, so that we won't get like any kind of taxes on that trading. Any idea?
So answer to this question you might not even get from someone who is working within the CRA, as they have different criteria based on which they evaluate a particular account.
Mm-hmm.
What I can say is that they would most probably be looking at the number of trades that you do over a period of 1 year, starting from January 2020 to December 2020. How many trades that you have done using your TSFA account, and does that fall into a category where they consider it as doing a business or investing? If they deem to consider it as a business, then you would end up being taxed more, because it whatever capital gains that you make in TSFA account, that will be added to your annual income along with other sources of income, and your tax slab would define how much tax you would be paying. Does that answer?
Yeah, and actually, I read on the web somewhere, like, is there any price limit? I like read somewhere it's like 69,000 something. If you achieve that limit, that price limit, after that you are going to be get noticed by CRA. Until or unless you achieve that level in the amount, if you are like trading, like you are getting $50, $100, or in a 1 year you just earn like only 4,000 or 5,000, they are not gonna catch you for that thing. If you are gaining a high price like crossing 69,000, I guess, I don't remember actually exact amount, it was somewhere around 69 or 70.
Yeah, so I understand from where you are getting that figure. that's actually 69,000 figure is coming from a point where this TSFA is available for any Canadian who had attained 18 years of age. I think somewhere in 2018 or maybe
2009.
2009. Sorry, 2009. So whoever has attained 18 years of age in 2009, since then every year there has been a contribution limit to TSFA account, and if you calculate that, the figure comes to be 69k, around 69k. Okay.
Exactly, to be exact, it's like 69,500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the exact thing I read somewhere. 69500. Yeah.
Right. So that 69,500k becomes contribution limit for someone who has not used his TSFA account up to now, is in Canada from, is born in Canada or is in Canada from 2009. So his total contribution limit is 69,500. If someone has immigrated recently, like I have immigrated 2 years back, so my contribution limit is, as of 2020, it is close to 14k. And if I invest more than my contribution limit, I would be taxed, which is I guess around 1%, and that tax is per day. So it's called as penalty for crossing your contribution limit.
Yeah.
However, if you make capital gains more than your contribution limit, that's not a worry. What is counted is how much amount you deposit into your TSFA account. Let's say if I deposited amount, in my case 14k, which is my contribution limit, and this grows to 50k, I won't be taxed on my gains which I have earned on my capital gains, on my contribution limit, because I have not crossed my contribution limit by depositing only 14,000, which I was supposed to. My gains have increased, which is my earnings, which is a benefit of this account. So I won't be penalized for that. Is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear. And I have one more question. Like, if my funds are grown to 50k and I have to withdraw some partially funds like 30k or 40k from that account, and after like couple of months, can I deposit that amount again in TFSC account, or that limit I have to deposit only the limit? Like, as you said, you got the limit of 14k, and suppose you make it like 50k, and at some point of time in coming months you have to withdraw 40k from that TFSC account, and after like couple of days you get some gain or some income from other source. So can you deposit that 40k again in that TFSC account, or you are supposed to only deposit your 14k?
Not in that way.
That's a good question again. So there are two things here. TSFA account has a yearly contribution limit. For 2020, it is $6,000. So I'll explain based on this example. So let's suppose I made, since it's a yearly contribution, at the start of year in January 2020, I know that I have a $6,000 additional contribution room. I invested $5,000 in January, and in maybe sometime in March and April I added additional $1,000. So I reached my $6,000 contribution room by March. Now, as you mentioned that I increased my gain, and I would like to I increased my I had a capital gains which increased up to 50k, and I would like to withdraw 40k. I can do it anytime. I can withdraw 40k. This 40k which I withdraw, it will be calculated as withdrawal in the next year's contribution room calculation. Meaning, just to simplify, instead of taking 40K as an example, if out of this 6,000 contribution limit, if I withdraw 3,000 this year, okay, sometime in June, then for this year, even though my contribution limit is 6,000 and in June I withdraw 3,000, I should not be depositing 3,000 again, because this $3,000 contribution limit gets replenished not in June, it will get replenished at the start of next year, meaning you would be able to utilize this $3,000 which you withdrawn in next year January.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And can I ask one more question if any?
Yeah, sure.
So actually, I was going through like from financial sheets of the companies. So I'm not from finance background, so I'm trying to figure out these things. So how do we do the study of the financial sheets? Like there are like profit, gains, debts, a lot of things. And I have seen couple of companies, they don't have cash in hand and they don't have anything. They like minus 900% down, and they are just running their business pretty much well, and their share is rising. So how to do the study of the fact sheet or financial sheets when we are doing analysis, instead of just watching the price history of the company or how it's gaining?
Yeah, I think if Tahir, you would like to answer based on your
Okay, from this financial thing, we call it the like fundamental analysis. Like as I have been mentioning previously, like when we do a trading, we need to see the stock from two point of view. Number one, the fundamental analysis, and then the technical. The fundamental analysis comes first. So you pick the stock based on fundamental, and then you do the technical analysis to see the entry and exit points and to trade. So from the fundamental point of view, it's a very, very vast thing, and I'm planning to have a separate short video on that so that you can analyze the stock fundamentally. But just to answer your question very briefly, you need to check EPS, which is earning per share, at a very, very high level. EPS and the PE ratio, which is the price earning ratio. Price earning ratio of the company is compared with the price earning ratio of the another company within the same industry. Like if you're saying the company is going down by 100% or 200%, 20%, 30%, then check this company against another company within the same sector and see how this company is behaving with respect to its industry. Like in this case, like all the stocks are going down except for few like pharma and all that. Like if you talk about energy, all energy stocks are going down in this particular time frame. So you need to compare the energy stock with another energy stock, and then it can help you to trade whether to this company is a good company or not a good option to trade in. So don't compare this with another energy sector when we're talking about the PE ratio. So you need to check the earning per share, how much is earning, how much is the dividend, how much is the PE. So it will help you to get a brief idea about how the company position is. But this is very, very long and detailed discussion, and I will be making another separate video on this. Otherwise we will go very long on this call for just to answer this one question. Just to answer you briefly, check EPS, PE ratio, and compare the PE ratio with the industry average PE ratio. Check the dividend yield, and I think you are good.
Okay, thank you, Tahir.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Tahir.
Yeah, any other question, guys, or we can move on to the technical, and if your question comes up, we can answer you side by side.
There's one question which Imran had asked regarding general investment. Imran, if you are on call, would you like to answer your question? Would you like to ask your questions? Or if not, I can read. So his question was, what strategy do you follow when investing, let's say, $1,000? Question one is, do you invest in 2 or 3 shares, the whole amount? Question two is, do you buy small quantities but invest in different sectors to spread the risk? Question three is, do you usually average out when the stock falls or buy shares of a different company? So as a general investing philosophy, it's always recommended to invest your investment amount in multiple shares. So investing in 2 to 3 stocks after doing fundamental and technical analysis and gaining confidence that the stock will give you the returns that you are expecting it, you should be going for at least 2 to 3 stocks for your entire investment amount. Coming to second question, do you buy in small quantities but in different sectors? Yes, it all depends upon which stocks you have chosen and what are their buy prices that you could get it, and you would definitely look for stocks from different sectors to avoid the risk of any surprises in a particular sector. For example, as we have seen recently that the energy and oil sector, energy and oil companies in general falling in under energy sector umbrella are volatile, and it's dependent on every small news that comes out on a daily basis. So if you are okay to take high risk, you could allocate large portfolio of your investment in energy stocks, and also have some stocks from other sectors as well. But reward to risk analysis is very, very important whenever you are choosing stocks to have in your portfolio. Going to the third part, do you usually average out when stocks fall or buy shares of a different company? This I would be covering in the next session as well, whereas I would like to answer here too. When you have chosen the stocks that you want to have in your portfolio, you have already spent time to do its fundamental analysis, technical analysis, understand its trend, have gained confidence on its trend. That's where you have chosen that particular stock. And once you have it in your portfolio, if your average price is higher than the stock price, which means you are at loss, I would suggest or I would recommend to keep following that particular stock and try to average out. If you buy some other stock, you might get into the similar situation that you might get at a higher average price and the stock is low, then you would be making loss from both the stocks. Whereas if you try to focus on making profit only on the first stock that you had, you would be in a better position to make positive returns from that stock. However, this may not apply all the time. In general, diversifying your portfolio at the start where you have the funds and you are buying the stocks, once you want to have once you want to add stocks in your portfolio using either the earnings that you gained or with the additional funds, that time you could look for new stocks. Okay. Imran, do you have any questions over here? I think he's on mute. And since we
That's
are
fine.
running late, I think we
Yeah, I think
should
now we
go to
can
the
start
next
the
session.
technical aspect,
Yeah.
and then plan like we will do the. We had planned like two sessions. One we covered by Kamal, and second will be mine on technical analysis. And in technical analysis, our theme remains the same, like to discuss the indicators, the technical educational background, and then we move on to discussing the different stocks. But since the time has elapsed and we are like beyond our schedule, so I'm skipping the first thing of the learning about the technical, learning about the indicators, the educational aspect. I can cover it in a separate video, and I will post it there, and you can have a look on that. So let's utilize this time by interacting more rather than focusing on one single indicator. So let's do it this way today. So I will start discussing with the different stocks, and one of the stock is Air Canada. You can see it on my screen. So first stock I'm speaking it myself, and the rest you can add on and comment, or you can say you can say during the discussion what stocks you want to discuss on, and we can take on your request. So first stock is like Air Canada. Most of the guys are trading in this stock. Just let me know, guys, if you are really trading in this stock, or I'm just assuming that we will be trading in it. If you are trading, then I'm going to discuss it. If you're not trading, then it's no use of discussing this stock. Rather, we can move on to the next stock, which is commonly traded in our group. Yes, guys.
So, yeah, let's discuss. There are people trading. I also have it in my portfolio.
Okay, so everyone, I want everyone to be on unmute, and let's be more interactive.
Let's discuss Air Canada, Chorus, SCL, MIR, please.
Okay, one by one. Have you say all together? I'll forget.
Okay, I'll remember.
Air Canada. Okay,
Let's start
sure.
with Air
Guys,
Canada.
unmute and just start discussing rather than one or two person speaking. I want everyone to have some words. Say it. Any question. If you think your question will be like very simple, small, stupid, anything, don't worry. It's better to ask this question rather than losing your money. So unmute and interact. I can see like many of the guys have unmuted. Good, and still some of them are on mute. Okay, you can ask questions while I'm discussing. You can ask in between. Don't wait for the time that I will end up and then I will say, okay, you can ask questions. Ask in between. Okay, so I'm starting in the Air Canada, guys. Do you remember that I shared one of in the group? I shared one of the one analysis on the AC.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to see that?
Yeah, yesterday before the close of the
Yeah.
day, right?
Yesterday I shared one PDF file in which it was the same graph there, same technical chart there, and with the view like this. And I have pointed out some of the points here. Like you can see these 3-4 points. These seem to be, the previously they were the resistance levels, and now it has in the previous week it crossed this resistance. Then when it fall down again, so the idea is when the previous resistance, if it has been crossed, becomes a support next time. So this, I'm expecting this level of 19.40 to be acting as a support for this Canada stock. By the way, Air Canada moved up here, bounce back here, bounce back again, the same level of around somewhere around 19.5, back again, back. But here, like on the last week, on Wednesday or on Monday, so it crossed up. So it gave the breakout and gave a closing which was above the previous support, previous resistance level. It broke the resistance and went up to 23.59 to be exact. On that day it went up, so it had break the resistance. So like most of the people can take entry from here, and you can expect the stock going up because it has broke the resistance. But unfortunately the next day it went down due to unforeseen conditions in the market. It went down, so this breakout could be considered as a false breakout because it didn't form the other candle above. But the good thing is when it started going down, this one level of 19.4 acted as a resistance previously, and now it can be taken as a support. So here you can see the one day it went down, and again the last session it went up. So this up candle which is formed in the last session on Friday seems to be little bit encouraging, although it's not very highly probable that stock is changing its trend. But still you can see that it has moved upward. Point number one. Number two, seems that it is trying to take a support at this level of 17.5, and it's reverting back. So if I draw a trend line from here, so just to better analyze this situation, you can see
Sorry, Sahih, can I ask a question, please?
Yep.
So, how do you calculate the support and the resistance again? Like, I can't really.
I can't hear you. Can you speak a little loudly?
Yeah, so my question is, how do you calculate the support and the resistance?
Okay, support and resistance. Support is actually the point which acts as a floor and prevents the price from falling it below that level, and it has been tested many times by the market. Okay, and the resistance is on the reverse. Resistance is a ceiling which prevents the price from going beyond that level, and it has been tested by the market many times. For example, you see here this point was acting as a resistance before. It prevented the price to cross this point, and then here it prevented the price to go up. Here also you can see it did not resist many times, but these two are considered to be the strong resistance. And here this point, and it should be touching at least two candles. So this one here also it resisted and gave a closing at this level, so this can be acted as a resistance, and same goes with the support.
Oh,
Okay. And support is on the other hand. So what I was saying, that the trend line, so this was the trend line. The stock seems to be, in this trend, and we can expect, if we uh, clone this and let's see how it is behaving. So you can see the next target to be at this level. If it crosses this level, if it really takes support, and the market on Friday was like positive, unlike Thursday, which was a huge negative market. Friday it was positive, and we are expecting a similar week, not a very bullish week next week, but still, it can be a good trading week. So if it responds to the market volatility, it can go up further to this level of 24. But before that, it will face a resistance at 23, because it rebounds or bounce back from this level of 23. So the level of 23, you can see if I draw the horizontal resistance level at this point. You can see resistance at this level of, okay, let's make it red and increase. Okay, so this point here, one, two, let to be more precise here, we can, somewhere here, but it is not like very strong one, not a very strong resistance, because we are getting like just two points matching here, and some a wick here which is approaching near to the resistance level. It is not considered as a very strong resistance, but still we can consider this as while we are doing our analysis. So it can reach to this level of 23.42 again, and can bounce back. So you can have your target price set a little below 23.42. So there can be two conditions: either it will pass on 23.42 and move further upward. If it goes further upward, then you can re-enter this trade again. But there can be situation that it will hit this and buy back and bounce back. So in order to prevent it, the minimization of your profit, you can plan your target at 22.45, or you can say like 23, somewhere around 23. You can plan your target if you are in profit. If you're in profit, just realize it when it touches 23, and then wait for it. If it goes further down, then buy again, and the further down level will be again at somewhere around this point of 19.5. Next time it might not go till this level of 17. The guys who are waiting for this to again, there will be some guys who will wait for this again to come up 17.5, but it might not go if we follow this trend. Here also you can see the last time it fall down to 13. So you guys might be waiting again this time here, when we were at this point, to fall back again till 13, but it did not went till this level. It went only till 15, a little higher than the previous low. And here also, during the last week, you guys like might be waiting for the stock to again come back till 15 level, or some guys like very sharp, okay, let's buy it at 12. But it did not hit till 15. It stood till 17, and the next target based on this next the buying target, when if it goes below, then will be around somewhere here around 19. So you need to take care of this trend line. Okay, so right now the strategy should be hold on, don't sell it, and the selling price should be around 23. And after 23, if you are in profit, hold it. If you are in profit, sell it, realize the profit. If you are in loss, you can go with the same concept. If you're a trader, or you are the investor, so in the loss, better to hold. So at 23, if it goes beyond this level, it can hit like 24, sometime like 24.5 or something like that. Then you can see if it is going above this 24.5, then you can re-enter the trade from here. Or the other situation will be like after hitting this 23.5 level, it goes below. If it goes below, then it can reach again to 19.5, and then you can re-enter the trade. One very very important thing, guys, whenever there is a change, whenever there is a movement in the stock, like if we check it from here, the lowest point 15 and the highest point 23. So you will enter the trade somewhere here in between this line. And it is very important to note that you cannot earn the 100% profit of from that trade. What is like 100%? Like 15.68, let's round it to like 16, and like 23. So it is very very rare, like you bought the stock at 16 and you sold it at like 23. Like this will be like $7 gain. So this is like 100% gain. You can never ever have this 7%, the $7 gain, which is like 100%. You will be entering the trade once it has already moved up somewhere like 17, and you will be coming out of the trade somewhere below 23.5, like I mentioned, like the amount of 23 or 22.9. So your profit will be in this range, and no one can ever have this, except you are a long-term investor. Then you might have stock here and then you are selling it here, but at this point you have lost an opportunity of rebuying it again. So that's a separate story. So the point I'm trying to say is, like, 100% of the gain is not possible. Never look for this, and never regret if stock goes up after you have sold it. Whatever you could earn, you have already earned it. Be happy with that. Don't greed is a point where you start losing money. Let's say like you are holding it at 23.59 in the next session, and you are saying, oh no, it will go further up, it has like prospects of going till 30. It might go till 30, but you don't know the time frame when it will go to 30, and you did not sell it, and the next day it fall down and take another round of dip and came till 19.5. You could have sold it here when it was higher, but you didn't sold it because you were saying that you can earn a $1 more. The $1 more earning, actually you lost your $4 opportunity. You could have earned, though you will not sell it 19.5, but you have lost the opportunity again. So it's better to sell it here, buy it back again. And this is the market will give you chances every day. And believe me, Air Canada is not the only stock in the market, and it's not the only opportunity in the market. So what the point I'm trying to say is, focus on your gains. If you are in the game, just realize it. Don't wait till it will go further up and you should have sold it at the higher price. Forget about that. Realize it when you are in profit based on your support and resistance level. Here the technical are saying, if there is a resistance at this level, sell it just below the set your target below the resistance level, and realize that gain. It may go further up, and then but don't say that it has gone up, oh my god, I should have waited for one more day and sold it here. No, this shouldn't be your strategy. So stick to your strategy, make a strategy and stick to that. If you keep on changing your strategy, or you do not stick your strategy, you will not make a profit in the long run. One or few trades can give you a profit, but in the long run you will be not maximizing your portfolio return. So just to summarize on this talk, those who have this stock, hold it till it reaches this level of just below this, the resistance level 23.5, to be very high extent, 23 to 23.5. Sell it, and then if it goes down, buy it back around somewhere around 18, 19. Or if it goes above this 24, then wait for few green candles to be formed here above, and then you can enter the trade from here. And then next time this can be considered as a support level for this stock. So guys, any question on this Air Canada?
So Shahid,
Yep.
so is it, what do you suggest, like it's currently 19.5, do you suggest buying it now and so that it can reach 22, 23 and then you sell it off?
I lost you in between. Can you repeat your question?
So do you suggest, like it's currently $19.5,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
do you suggest buying it now and you just sell it when it reaches 23, as it has been reaching 23, right?
Yes, you can. Based on the last day closing, you can. If you would have asked me this question on Thursday evening or Friday morning, I would say no. Why? Because now it has formed another candle which is above. But during my discussion, if you can recall, I said that it is likely not very strong. Why I said this? Because of the shape of the candle. If I increase the size here, this shape of the candle, this is the doji candle, and the doji is indecisive candle. What is
Okay.
indecisive? Like, still the bears and bulls have not yet decided upon the trend, whether to take the stock up or take this stock down. The shape of this candle, the only thing which I doubt on this Air Canada stock is the shape of the candle which is formed on the last tray. Why? Because this is a doji candle. Doji means indecisive. The opening, if you see the opening price of the stock and the closing price of the stock is the same, because there is no body, the same one thin line. Opening price and closing price remain the same. This is a doji candle, indecisive candle. Still, the buyers and the investors are not sure about the fate of this stock. It can go up or it can go down, but from the overall conclusion point of view, what I'm looking at is the market trend. The market is will be overall in neutral to bullish trend, which will impact this Air Canada, and Air Canada very strong sentiments attached to it. So these points are helping me to negate the impact of this dodgy candle. And at the bottom, and one more thing, that it has given a downside price rejection a little bit. So these three things coupled together, and let's say about the volumes are above the average. So these three things coupled together, I can say yes, you can enter. But if it forms the next candle above this, then it will be a strong buy for Monday morning. Look at the market, the opening. If it gives you a gap up opening, then yes, it's a strong buy, not a strong, a medium buy. And from the next Tuesday, if it goes on with the same trend, it gives a gap up opening again on Tuesday, and gives a closing which is above the closing of Monday session, then it will be converted into like medium to strong buy. I hope that answers you.
Yes, yes.
Okay. The other thing here is like volumes. I told you volumes are volumes are above the average. RSI seems to taking support at this level. It hit at this level, and then again this time it hit at this level. This time I was expecting this to hit at this level and bounce back, but it has gone a little bit down and then came again here again. So on Monday, if it is trading above above the opening price or above the closing price of the previous day, a green candle, then you will see this RSI to going up again, and it has a room to go up. Still currently it is at 54,000, and it can go up till like 70,000, like till this point, not consider 71 but 70, as we stick to our approach. So you can see it has still a potential, unlike many of the stocks these days, like energy stocks, they have lost potential. Few of them though, they have still potential, but Air Canada has a potential to grow up. So it is good for the long-term investment, and from the swing trade also seems to be good. Number one, volumes are above average. It has a potential upward, and MACD has shown a neutral trend. It was going down. Okay, it had a bearish trend. Now it is turned to a neutral, and if stock behaves well on Monday, it will be going to an upward momentum, a strong momentum. Momentum will increase, and you can see an upward shift and divergence in MACD. So that's what from the MACD point of view. MACD is about to swing above, and this one has got a room. RSI is saying yes. MACD, I will say it's a neutral. It's not saying yes or no, but RSI is saying yes. Volume saying yes. Candle is indecisive, but lower price rejection saying yes, and overall market trend is up for AC. So it can be considered for buying. That's fine.
Thanks, Tyler.
Welcome. Yes, guys. Any other stock? Though there is still few points that we can discuss on AC, but let's move on to the next stocks.
Can we check?
Can we discuss on NBR?
Okay, NBR. Before going that, one point, just very quick, I want to mention this here, which was a shift in the trend in AC. Guys, here very very important to see. The opening price on this day was 23, and the closing price was below. Opening price was here 20.35, and it closed below. Okay, then it gave a gap down opening, okay, and close here. So every day it was gaining. See the gap every day, gap. It was giving you a gap down opening. In the last session, if you notice, it has given a gap up opening. So if this trend continues, it gives a gap up opening again. Because why I'm saying this, because when it opened here also, when it opened, the closing price was above the opening price of that day. Are you following me? Although it had a gap down opening means that people don't want to buy this. It has a bearish trend. People were not confident of buying this, but still it closed above. And the next day, since it was closed above, there was a shift in the investors' mindset. Here they were saying that it will go down, so that's why the stock market opened at a gap down. Here, when the session closed, the closing price was higher than the opening price. So during the session, there was a positive sentiment. That's why the next day it gave a gap up opening. And the opening price and closing price was almost the same. There was like only 5 cents difference. So if this positive sentiment continues, it will give a gap up opening. So answering your question from another point of view, if it gives a gap up opening on Monday, then you will see a strong upward price movement on Monday, and it will continue till this resistance level.
So like if we see a gap up, then buy it right away.
Yeah,
Right?
if you not right away, first 15 minutes, 30 minutes are very important, because many of the short sellers are there. They open it because people are saying it from the same point of view as we are saying. Gap up opening, higher
Right.
price, they buy it at a higher price, and after 15 minutes they will dump and the price will
Oh,
go down. So
oh,
observe it in first 30 minutes, because if you open at the gap up price, and then you will not be able to recover that price till afternoon. So you
okay.
will stay in loss till afternoon. So observe the market, see the volumes. When the volumes are high, buy at that point of view, at that point of time. And first half an hour, 1 hour is very volatile.
Okay. Means we should try to stay away then first half an hour, just watch the market. It applies
First,
generally.
exactly. First half an hour, just stay away. But sometimes it happens. Like it didn't come down. It followed its upward trend the whole day. It
Mhm.
opened at gap up, and then it up and up, and you didn't get a chance to buy at low price. But it happens.
Okay.
So, but still, first 15 minutes, 20 minutes, just watch the market. Like Kamal's strategy is like he buys like at the end of the day. At the end of the day is also a good point to buy. So you
Yeah,
can
because not
develop a strategy.
everyone can monitor the price in real time, especially during working hours. So
Yep.
Kamal had a valid point there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and from that point of view, yes, this is a good strategy. But what I'm saying is like if it is gap up opening, don't just rush and buy it, because after 15-20 minutes you will see. Follow the trend of that stock in past few days. Open up the chart and see how it is behaving in first 15 minutes and first 1 hour. Just see the trend, how that stock goes.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and just to add to that, as I had covered previously as well, that since you would have followed the trend, studied the trend of last 1 week, 1 month, you know what could be the support levels it might touch. So set your limit buys so that even if it goes once to that limit price, your order will get executed. So you'll have
Yeah,
it.
exactly. You don't need to monitor every time, because you're not sitting in front of the screen all the time,
Right.
and you're at work. So determine your buy levels when you're buying the stock. Determine your support level. So when it hits that support level at any point of time during the day, it will be bought.
Right.
But
Makes sense.
what few other stocks I will say, like you are interested in, like monitor it. So you will have a very better, you cannot trade in each and every stock. There are thousands of stocks in the market. You cannot trade in every one, but you will have some favorites. So monitor those favorites little closely.
Right.
Okay, yeah. Next stock, someone was saying NBR. What is that?
Yeah,
NBR?
it's neighbor industries. Yeah, NBR.
And Neighbor
Yeah,
Industries, New
yeah,
York or
yeah.
TS? Okay, New York Stock Exchange, Neighbor Industries. It seemed to be in upward. Okay, let's talk about the price first. The price, let's start. We are on a 1-day chart. The price went up till this level of 84. Let's see, zoom out. See, it seemed to have, a resistance at this level. You can see. Someone had a question how to find resistance. Just have a look how I'm drawing the line. So this level seem to have a resistance here at this point, because at this point was tested several times. Or if I can make a, sometimes when it's not just a straight line, it's a channel, and
Yeah.
during in that channel it is resisting. So yeah, so that was a channel. You see here multiple times here, resistance. It was not able to break this point, and go down. So it was acting as a support at this point. So support also becomes resistance when it is trying to go up again. Okay, so here also you can see it touched at this point few times, and here when it was trying to break it, it was not able to. So it acted as a resistance, which was a previous support for this stock, and it start falling down from here. So this is the support, and let's talk about the this is the resistance, and let's talk about the support, where this stock can take support. You can do a back testing till like at least 1 year you can go easily. So previously I cannot see any point beyond this 3-4 month period. So if we talk about the support level, what can be the support of this stock? So this stock seem to have a support at this level. Those who don't know how to calculate the support, just focus when I'm doing this, making these lines. So you will have slowly and gradually you will get an idea how we draw a support and resistance lines. So see this point, when it was going down here, it took a support at this level. Okay, and this point actually prevented the stock price from falling beyond this level, and this has been tested previously. Like here it tried to cross this, but it didn't. So it acted as a resistance here, and then again at this point, same day, it was not able to cross. It opened it here and it fell down. So the stock price was prevented from this point to go above. So it was acting as a resistance, and once it broke this line and then it reached its next level of resistance, when it is falling down again, so previous resistance will now become a support. So as you can see, it has actually respected this line, and it took a support from this level, then again it started going up. So the good thing about this stock is, like, if I zoom it, it gave a gap up opening. Okay, number one. Number two, which is not actually a good sign, that it closed below the opening price. The opening price was 53.54, rounding off, and the closing price was like 52.7. So although it opened at a gap up and people were expecting this stock to go up, but during the trading session on the last day, it has actually shown a downward trend and it has lost a few dollars. Okay, and the other point which is like alarming at this stage is there is an upside price rejection, upward price rejection. Price hit till a level of 60.72, but it couldn't sustain that point, and the bears pulled the price back again to a level of 54. The bulls tried to pull it up till 60, but they were not successful in sustaining this price level, and bears pulled it down again back to the level of 54, and again back to the level of, actually you can say, 50.94, and then there was a little upward movement, and the stock gave a closing at the level of 52.30. So this is an upside price rejection, which is not good for this stock. Although there is a chance that you will see if the price is opening either at the same level or it is a gap down opening again tomorrow. So this stock is very crucial to look at how it is behaving in on Monday morning. Gap up or gap down. Gap up chances are less, gap down chances are little, and there is a chance that it might open at the same level. And if it goes, how it will behave in the coming week, that it will go again at the level of 82.7 to 80, from 82 to 85. It will reach here and then it can bounce back again. So your trading strategy, if you are holding this and you are in profits, whether you are in loss even, so hold it till and wait till it, if it start going up, wait till it reaches the level of 82 to 85 and then realize the profit. So when it touches this, it will either go beyond this level or it fall back. If it goes beyond this level and crosses the level of 85, then you can re-enter the trade after it has actually crossed 86. Okay, and has formed one green candle above this line. It's not like this, it crossed this level here, made a candle here, and you enter the trade and start going down. Then you can say, oh, it crossed a resistance, then why it fall back? After resistance, you need to have a confirmation, at least 1 day confirmation, one green candle confirmation. Only then you enter the trade. Otherwise, it can be a false breakout, as it happened in case of Air Canada. Air Canada broke its resistance of 22. It gave closing at 23. So most of the people saying, okay, yes, including like many of the guys, they enter at that level of 23, hoping that it has crossed the resistance and it go further up, but it was a false breakout and it fell back down. So same can happen with any of the stock. So just to summarize this, hold this till it reaches the level of 82 and sell it. Realize your profit. So if it goes crosses 85, yeah, you want to rebuy this, depending the scenario at that time, rebuy and make profits above. Or if it goes down again after this, touching this level, then you can re-enter in the trade and you can again buy this stock at 44. And
Yeah.
if I say the volumes are a little low because during the last 2-3 days, because of this upside price rejection here, then upside price rejection here. Okay, and this is, we call it and just a candle with the upside price rejection. So again, you can see either same kind of candle forming here again, but you cannot see upside price rejection every day and there is a gap up. So likely that be same price or a gap down maybe. Volumes are a little low, but So if it continues the same way, it can grow up. RSI is saying yes. MACD is converging, which is not a good sign. Yep, you're saying something.
So finally, you suggest I should sell it if it touches around 80, right?
Just below 82, yes, you can say 80. And if you are in profit, we'll sell it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Okay, yeah. Next, guys.
Mir, can you look at Mir?
Sorry.
MIR.
MIR.
Okay, Medmira. We have two in stock in New York, and I think we're talking about this.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's have a closer look here. Okay,
So
it
it
has
doesn't have
gone.
a long history. Yeah.
It doesn't have a history of sustaining at these price levels, but still we can see. So for the long time, long term, it's not recommended
Yeah,
because it
it
never
has
reached
right.
that level.
Yeah, it has gained momentum because of this COVID.
The corona thing, yeah, because the corona pharma industry is up. So pharma, if it has a history of maintaining high prices, only then you can plan a long term. But if it has a history of high price, then at this point of time it will not be at the lower price levels because it's pharma. So you'll not find any, very rare to find any pharma stock which is at lower price at this point, and it had a history of high price. If it had a history of high price, then why it will be at the lower price during these days? Yes or no?
Yeah.
What do you think, guys?
Yes, I agree, because I'm working with a healthcare company.
Yeah,
So
okay, then you will
stock,
have very
yeah.
in-depth idea. Guys, the other guys are sleeping or what?
Yeah, I say it as a seasonal stock.
I'm here,
Yeah.
but the price itself of
Okay.
the share doesn't look promising. I remember there was a discussion.
Mhm,
I avoid dealing in penny stocks or stocks which
Yeah,
are having immaterial value.
exactly. But everyone has a different definition of the penny stock. For Kamal, it's 0.4. For me, it's $1.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
So and
yeah.
to also people might be wondering why I say 0.4. Because I use well simple trade, and it has a condition that for stock to be traded on well simple trade, they have this particular condition that the 52-week max of the stock should be at least 0.5 or higher, or its volume should be greater than 50k, if I'm
Okay.
correct. So the reason why I chose 0.04 is that stock, I'm sure that it would be crossing 0.5 in 52 weeks, and even though it is 0.04, its 52-week history would have somewhere crossed 0.5 recently, in either at least 1 month or 2 month, which means it gives 1 year period for the stock to be traded on well simple trade. Am I being clear?
So you're saying that if it is at 0.4, then it can cross 0.5 to
Yeah.
be there and if it has already crossed 0.5 in the last month, then it might not go again.
So
If in the last 12 months it has not crossed 0.5, last 12, not say 12, 10, 8 months, then it is a chance that in next 1 or 2 months it has to go beyond 0.5.
what I'm saying is, if in last 1 or 2 months, if it has crossed 0.5, which has made it eligible to be traded on well simple for another 10 months.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
which means that it won't be delisted from well simple trade for trading for another 10 to 12 months.
Exactly.
So
What if we have a stock and it gets delisted for a year, and then what happens next?
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
I mean, if it doesn't go beyond 0.5 or doesn't touch it, and it is delisted from well simple, and we are holding the stock, then what
So
happens
still it
next?
is listed in the stock exchange. It's only one broker will not be trading in that because of the broker policy, but still it will be listed in the market, whether it be Nasdaq, New York, or TSX. You will be having it only from the broker point of view. You need to ask that broker exactly. From broker channel, it might not be available for trading. further trading. But if someone has it, he owns it, because
Yeah.
you have the rights attached to that. You are a shareholder. So only broker is not supporting any further on this stock, but you are holding this in the market through that broker. So you have the rights still. You are
Okay,
the owner.
so maybe I'll open a Quest Trade or any other broker, and then I'll request them to
Transfer.
make it available. Okay.
Yeah.
And I have
Thanks.
one more question.
Yeah.
One more question. For example, if you buy a share today, do we need to wait for at least 2 to 3 days to sell it off, or we can sell it next day itself?
What is the background of this question? I would be interested to know more about this.
You know, like in India, we have this, like if you're holding a share, we cannot sell it. I mean, if you buy a share today, we cannot sell it next day. You need to have a T plus
T plus 2.
2.
two,
T
yeah,
plus
correct.
2.
Okay. T plus 2, you can sell it even the next second. You can sell it. And T plus 2 transaction, I'm not sure how it is working in India. In Pakistan, we can sell it, the intraday trader, how they do it. They
No,
buy
in
it and
intraday
then
we
sell
can
it.
do it. No, in intraday
You
we can do it. But what happens, like once we buy it and then the market closes,
Mhm.
and the next day if we want to sell it, we cannot sell it.
Okay, in Pakistan we can sell it, and here also we can sell it. I have also done, I think, yeah. So you can sell it. The only thing is, it takes T plus 2 is the settlement process. At the end of T plus 2, on T plus 2, actually you get this share under your name. But here, still now, I have also been trying to find out this time frame of T plus 2, or whether it is T plus 1 here, but I'm still not able to find this link. But overall idea remains the same, that T plus 2, there is no restriction. First, to answer your question, there is no restriction if you can sell it on T or T plus 1. That answers your question. The next question is, the settle next, which I think it further, the settlement process. Settlement process in many of the countries, on many of the stock exchanges, takes T plus 2, as we have in India and Pakistan. T plus 2 is the settlement date. Here, what is the settlement date? Still, I'm not able to find whether it is done at the same day. Normally, for bonds, it is either T plus 0, you can say T, or T plus 1. For the stocks, I'm still trying to find out. If someone gets to know about the settlement date here in TSX or in Nasdaq, please do let me know. Okay. Yeah, guys, let's discuss MIR. Okay, we are going beyond our scheduled time, but at any point of time you want me to stop, we will stop. Okay, now it's all upon you guys. Till the time you guys show interest, we will keep on. And because the timing difference in some of the countries is not favorable, though it's a weekend, but it's all depend upon you. As long as you guys want me to continue and you're showing interest, we will continue. Or if the participant level falls down, then we have to close it. Currently we are 18, and I think we have lost 2 or 3, maybe due to adverse time frames. Okay, MIR. But guys, please do speak, do show interest. I don't know why a few of the guys like Ejaz, Imran, Franklin, Pankaj, I think he contributed, and there's Vakas said, guys, don't sleep.
Tahir, what would be the exit strategy for me?
Hello?
Yeah. Now I
Oh,
will
yeah.
start speaking together.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead one by one, guys.
Yeah, so this is Franklin.
Yeah,
I'm
Franklin.
still a new trader. I'm trying to, grasp everything you're saying, right? So,
Okay.
yeah, when I do have a question, I'll ask. But for now, I'm just trying to learn
Sure.
new stuff, right? So, yeah.
Okay, good. So far, guys, how the session is going? Still, we are like at the very beginning of our these trading sessions. Like, this is the 3rd session we are conducting. And how you feel about this session, please do let us know, so that we can improve on. And how good or bad this current session is going. Do let me know. You're like you are gaining something, or like how I'm doing, how am I behaving with this session. Am I too fast or too slow, or like I go very quickly? Do let me know, so that we can work on that.
And like, I would like to add one thing. Like,
Yeah.
you are explaining this whole concept of candlestick, and we are looking at the support price and the resistance price. But some of us are not accountants, so for them the jargon may be a little hard to understand, especially if they are joining the session for the first time to listen from you.
Yeah,
So I
true.
think that, yeah, like Prabhakar, I remember he mentioned something like he's starting to read the financials and he has some queries. Na? So I think maybe we should have a basic session, maximum I think 15-20 minutes, just to understand this whole candlestick analysis. Like, how do you determine what's the support price, what's the
Okay.
resistance price? Yeah.
Fine. When we started our session, actually the first day we discussed about this, and those guys who are new, they will have this problem. But those guys who are with us like from last 3 weeks when we had a first session, I hope they can recall that we discussed about the support and resistance and few things like that. But still we can have a separate session on that, and I'm planning to make one small video on this so that you guys can, if can go and check it out there also, and we can include in our upcoming sessions the support and resistance. And by the way, you don't need to be from the finance or accounting background if you want to calculate the support and resistance. It's just a simple thing.
Right.
Done. Done. Okay. Looking
Yeah.
forward to it. Thank you, man.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I was
yeah, we can.
One
Sorry.
by one, guys.
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
in the next session we can start with that basic. If the video
I will
is,
touch upon. I will touch
yeah,
upon.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that,
Aman was saying something. Aman.
This is Pankaj actually. I have a
Yeah. Pankaj.
suggestion. I am sure people would start getting interested. If people are joining, so every time they would be in the same situation when you have new joinees. So as you
Exactly.
suggested, it's always good to have the basic session recorded as expandable
Yep.
as possible, so that you can just give them, then they can view it. But otherwise, you'll spend a lot of time every time you start
Exactly.
Yeah,
Repeating the same thing.
exactly,
That's what I
exactly.
was. I was also referring to the same. Like every 2 or 3 weeks later, we will have like bunch of people who don't know
right,
support and
right.
resistance.
So
So the only thing happened, like our first session, which was on support and resistance, was not recorded, and that's why we lost it. So I will record a separate session on this, and then if someone wants it, he can go and view it. Yeah. Okay. So let's move on to MIR.
Hello?
Yep. Someone is saying.
Yeah, so one more suggestion too.
Yeah.
So like if we want to make any comment, I think there's an option of raising hand. So we don't all talk at the same time. So we can just click on the raise hand option, then you can call anyone that wants to speak.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a good idea. So what is it called, raising hand, or I
Yeah,
wasn't
raise
sure.
hand. If you click on more, the three dots, yeah, you see where the chat
Okay, well,
raise hand, yeah, so it's there.
where okay, I will look on into it. Fine, thank you.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, MIR. Let's get back to MIR without further delay. MIR had first, it doesn't have a very strong history of reaching at the higher levels. Okay, and currently it was in a downward trend here, and it took a support. Let me draw. Guys, watch closely when I draw the support lines. So it has taken actually a support at this level. So why this is a support? Because this price, this line, this price of 0.39596 has prevented the stock from going below this level multiple times. One time here, and this second time, at least it should be two times, and here it acted as a resistance and prevented it from going above this point. So as I mentioned, previous resistance once broken, next time it becomes support. It was resistance here, it resisted almost, it didn't resist it here, it actually crossed, and then when it was coming down again the next time, the previous resistance becomes a support point, and it has actually honored the support line two times. So it has like one in number two, you can say here two, and very close, and three and four instances. So it can be considered as a strong support line 0.39, and how long it can go, you will be interested in knowing because you guys are holding. So here, red line, okay, let it be more clear. I should have a little thin line here. Yep, this one is better. So at this point or little low, yes, this point can act as resistance of 6.99, or you can say 0.7. But this one shouldn't be your target. Your target should be 0.64. 0.64 or 63. 63 should be your current target. You can say immediate target. If you talk about immediate target, by the way, it is 0.57. So it will hit 0.57, and then it will may start falling down or start resisting at that point before it goes further up. So you can set your target at max at 0.64 or 63, or if you want to realize it early, 0.5557, you can realize your profit at 0.57 as well. If you see that stock is resisting at 0.5758 and it is not going beyond, and it is touching 5758 and going back again, so sell it 0.57 and then buy it back again when it going down. So but if it is not resisting at 0.57 and it goes further up, then your target should be 0.64. Sell it, and again the same strategy. It can go down from 0.64. Actually, it will go a little up 0.65, but don't wait till this point. Okay, 0.64 just below the resistance level, you need to sell it. Your TP should be, target profit should be just below the resistance level. Again, it will have like two situations. From 0.64 it will either 0.69, this resistance level, it goes up. If it goes up, then buy again, but the chances that it will go up are like little. Guys, very important, when I say go up, I always refer, or everyone always refer to the price, the closing price, not the price, the high price during that day. So if I talk about this candle on this day, very important to note, guys, 26th of May, it the price, it went till 0.85, but it didn't give a closing. So you will not consider 0.85. You will always consider the closing price point here, 0.67. So the stock price went high from this level to this level of 0.7. Don't consider this because it was not able to sustain this price. So what I'm saying here is at 0.69, if it touches here and gives a green candle above and 1 day confirmation on the next day, only then you can re-enter from the upper side. But the chances are like it will not cross this level, and even if it crosses like it here, then you need to see if either it is giving a closing above this resistance level or not. Like here it crossed, but it didn't give a closing above this resistance level, so it acted as a fine support, a fine resistance at that level. Again, the same situation can be here, but don't confuse yourself. You say, oh, we discussed in our session, like if it crosses 0.7 or which is the resistance line, then you can enter. No, you need to understand it clearly. When I say crosses, it means the closing price should be on closing price on that day should be above 0.69. Here it did not cross, although it gave a high during that day, but it did not cross actually. If the same situation occurs, don't mix it. When I say crosses, it give a closing above this level of 0.7, and the next day it gives a green candle above this point, then you can enter. But that was a general for all stocks. But here again, coming back to analyze mid-mira, it is like if you are holding the stock, first level consider 0.57. If it is resisting, it will be a weaker one, though. You can sell this and rebuy back again at below levels, but better to hold till 0.64 and then sell it. And if it goes further down again, then you can buy it. Hope that clears. And let me check the volumes are low, and it can start going down again. It has consistently low volume during the past months, so it's not a very favorable stock at this point of time. But if it gains momentum, it can. So because of the RSI upward movement, RSI has still you can say a space. It has a space to go up further. It has 54. It is above 50, upward trend. It is an upward trend. RSI says yes, volumes are a little low. And MACD has it is not recommending actually to buy this stock at this point, because the signal, the MACD line, the blue line, is below the red line. So it has started converting. When it converges and actually crosses this line, that is the buying point for MACD. Those guys who are not familiar of this MACD, we have a video in our channel. You can go and see the video. Those guys, this is for those who have you're joining it for the first time and don't know what the MACD is, what it tells. You can go and have a look at that video. Thank God we have a recorded session for MACD, unlike our first session. So I will be sharing the link after the call, so you can go, though it is a very long session. If you can, similar to today's session, if you are interested, you can go and check and see what the MACD is. So as per the MACD, the buying signal has not yet created until it crosses this level. RSI yes, and MACD is show the past trend, so still it lags behind. It's a lagging indicator, and that's what it is. If you want to take an entry now on Monday, see how it behaves, but the upside will be minimized if it opens, like let's say at the same level of, for example, at 0.5, and the upside will be 14. 0.64 will target, 14 cents will be the upside, and the downside is 10. So it is risk to reward ratio is also fine in this stock. Yeah, just guys.
Yeah, 2 points to add with, as you guys have observed, based on what Tahir has mentioned in the analysis, is that this stock is for short term. Since it doesn't have a long history, holding it for long term, there's no reference as in how long you would like to hold. So prefer the stock to begin with, considering that you would be holding it for short term, and that's where the Tahir, the selling points or the resistance levels which Tahir has mentioned would be a good reference for you to decide on what price you would set as your sell limits. And second point which I would like to add to this is coming back to Pankaj's point on whether you should be holding your stock or selling it. So for this particular stock, both Tahir and me, we are saying that you should be selling, because in this analysis you could see that the stock has a tendency to go at a price which could be lower than your average price. So if a stock goes at lower than your average price, you could buy, sell it at a price, make your profit, and then once it again goes lower than your average price, buy it back, in which case you are not nullifying your profit. Hope you are getting this.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, guys. Any question on this, or shall we move to the next talk?
No, I think we can move.
Okay, next talk, guys.
Can we look
Is
at
SCL?
stocks?
Sorry. Okay.
Kamal, I think that's these guys participants say.
Tog,
We are the host.
can you look at Tog?
Sorry?
I think
TOG?
someone had mentioned, that's why I said it's okay.
Okay, fine. No problem. I
Yeah,
know
let's
many of
take
the guys,
TOG.
you
Yeah.
have recommended MIR and SCR, and almost all of the guys have, have taken these two stocks. So TOG, guys, you mentioned? TOG?
Yeah.
Okay.
People have mentioned in chat. Yeah.
Okay,
TOG,
sorry, I'm not
SGY,
looking at the chat right now.
CFW. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
from there I'm okay.
if we need to focus on on the chat, then YouTube was also not bad. The reason why we came on Zoom is like you guys. I want you guys to to speak up too. So
Yeah,
that's why I'm
so
not looking at the chat.
no, I'm keeping an eye on chat. This SCL was requested by
Okay, but
Ranjan.
let these guys speak up instead of mentioning on the chat. If you
Yeah.
you just mention on the chat, then why not on the YouTube? Why on this one?
That's the way how they're gonna speak.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the way
that's
they're
good.
gonna speak.
Agree. That's
Let's
a
go
good way
back
of
again to
encouraging
YouTube.
contribution.
So
Yeah.
if you speak, then you will not sleep. Actually, it's good to hear from you. From it's like a response from you guys. If like Kamal or me or like any host is not getting a response, it doesn't look good, or like there's a feeler that people are not encouraged or people are not getting it. So it depends upon all you guys that how much information you can take from us.
True. By the way, Franklin has raised his hand. I think he wants to ask us something, but he's muted right now.
Okay, Franklin, I don't know how to use this hand option here. So next time I will explore this, and then I will focus on this. But for today's session, instead of using hand, you can raise your voice.
No, I think that hand raising option was on YouTube, not on Zoom.
No, I can see this raise hand option as well. Yeah, it's coming
I
at
will
the
explore.
screen as
I
well.
will
Yeah,
explore.
It's a
Let's
chat
not.
window.
it's
Yeah, let's
the
not focus on functionality thing to save time and focus more on the technical
Yes.
thing. I will explore this.
Yeah, so
So go ahead.
the stock I wanted to work on the SGY, God, and which one again? CFW.
Which stock?
T-Good.
SGY.
SGY.
SGY, yeah.
Okay, I'll coming to SGY after TOG.
yeah. Let's
Okay.
do that way. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Let's do a TOG.
Mm.
And TOG, it 2.03 or at this level. Let's zoom out and look at the past trend of the stock. We went enough. Though it has a history, and I will tell you one good thing about TOG for a long-term perspective. Let's draw the resistance line first, and then I will tell you that thing. Okay, so this point is a resistance point for this stock, and the support level that's a support level. Okay, so this is the support and resistance for the stock. Let's zoom and check how this is behaving. So you can see from the previous sessions it made a high of 2.12, and then it start falling down, because this acted as the resistance level. 2.12 start falling down, 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 and it came till here. It took a support, an immediate support. If you can draw one support line here as well, to be called as S1, and this should be the S2. It took a support from here, then started going up. And so now the next the target should be this level, 2.07. Those guys who have this, hold it till it goes 2.07, and again the support level will remain the same of 1.61. And the candle is very dangerous. Why dangerous? Because it is a doji candle again. Doji is always an indecisive candle. What is a doji? And these names which I am using, I will be covering it in our next session. So we have not read this, so I will try not to use these names, but I'm just trying to make you familiar. This is called as doji. Next few sessions we have, guys, many things to cover: fundamental, candlestick pattern, chart pattern, few more indicators, and then back to some few basics again. So there are many things to do, many things to discuss, and slowly and gradually we will cover, and there is no end point to this learning. But for the basics we will cover gradually. So this is a few of the things, like you can understand while we are discussing this. Like this candle, you can remember this candle with a high upper wick and a lower wick, and there is no body here. By the way, this is the body. This rectangular frame is a body, and this stick which is up or down, this is called as a wick. So it is a high upper wick, unlike this candle. This candle here, high upper wick, high, and the lower wick is also high, and this body is very small, means opening and closing price was the same in TOG. So how to analyze this is, like, bulls tried to pull the price up at 1.82, and then the bears pulled the price down to 1.71. Then bulls came again and moved the price up, and finally it closed at 1.76. The opening price and the closing price remain same, so no one wins. Neither bulls win nor the bears win. So they were like fighting with each other, and no one was able to make the price to take the price either upward or downward. So from the investor's point of view, like, both are at the same position. So this is called indecisive candle. Decision has not yet been made upon the fate of this stock, upon the fate of the price of this stock. So for the next day candle, let's see how it behaves. But the good thing is it gave a gap up opening on the last session, and if it gives a gap up opening again, and let's talk about the volume. How are the volumes? Volumes were like below average, little below. If the volumes on the next session are high, then you will see this stock going up, and it has a potential of going up based on the RSI, which has shown an upward trend. It has still space to go up, and as soon as it reaches 70, it will fall back again. As you can see, this level here, it moved above 70, and it was due to be corrected and fall down. But still, now here at this point, it has a space. It has a margin, it has a capacity to go up, and it will go up. So this stock, to summarize, is in upward trend, and it will go up again till the level of 2.12. So your target profit should be 2.05 for the very short term perspective, and your stop loss can be any point between 1.71 to 1.61, or either it can be below, safe to below 1.61, below the support level, always the stock your stop loss. So volumes just average. From this point of view, RSI point of view, good buy, you can buy. And here it has converged to actually the zero thing, and whenever there is a convergence, it means that there is it is about to there is an indication that there will be a change in the trend very soon, which we can see from the MACD point. And the next day, if it goes if it behaves well on Monday, so you will see the stock, this blue line going above. So MACD will also be yes, RSI yes, volume neutral. Currently MACD is neutral, you can say. RSI positive, volume neutral, and doji candle is indecisive. All behave, but all depends upon the Monday opening price. Monday opening price, first hour session, it will decide. Yes, guys. Any question on TOG? Hello.
No, all good.
All
Okay.
good.
Okay, fine. So the next was SO. Guys, we will take next 15 minutes, and then we will end the session, as we can see the participant level going down. And I think it has to be like now it's more than 2 hours. It's not good to keep everyone waiting for like more than like 2 hours. It's already 2 hour 15 minutes, so we'll ending like next 15. So it can be like 2.5 hours, which is still a very, very long time frame.
But can we do a little analysis of T God before going, just like 1 or 2 minutes, just a quick view?
Next stock. Okay, I will picking another one, SGS, someone said, and then you start.
SGY.
SGY, SGY, and then the stock you were saying is Surge Energy,
Yeah.
Toronto. Okay, SGY. Okay, sorry. One thing I was saying that one thing good for TOG. Let me go back. Okay, the good thing is here for TOG, guys. See this gap. The market has created a huge gap previously in month of March. Whenever there is a gap, the stock will always fill up the gap. So it has a potential to go to 3. If you are a long-term investor, you can hold this till it goes to 2.9, 2.98 or 3. Very important to see your strategy. Long-term investor, when it will go, you never know, but eventually it will go because it has, and it might not be like going like straight till 3. It will go here, move a little, plunge down, dip, consolidate, and then go up, but eventually it has a potential to go to 3 because it has created a gap. Whenever there is a gap, either gap down or gap up, stock will always fill that gap. Okay, so this is from the investors. SGY, Sure Energy. Sure Energy, I will be real quick on this. Sure Energy support level, resistance level of, you can say this is not a very strong one, but it has shown a resistance, you can say at this level, a weaker one though, because here we have a wick, not a closing, and here we have, the opening price. And then the support level, yeah. So this can be a support level for this stock, and although the first support is little higher than this is the immediate support, which I'm drawing now. No, this is actually not a support, because it is not honoring this. This can be a support. It came like near about to the support. It's never like 100%. Support level and resistance level are the indicators that it can go till this level. So it came and it made a lower point of a lower point which is close to its support level, and started going up. So the upside of this stock is 0.54, and the downside of this stock is 0.32. And upside is, when I say up 0 point, you can zero point 0.4. So upside is more and downside is less, so risk to reward ratio is positive. You can enter in this stock, and RSI is the same analysis like TOG, because all the energy stocks, by the way, you will find the same analysis. So we might not be discussing more energy stocks today. The energy stocks I have seen, like you can also go and open this chart and see, you will see the same trend. Average volumes, not a very high volume, either little low or at the average. The RSI has gone up, okay, showed upward shift, and MACD is either converged or converging. So the same analysis for all the energy stocks based on current scenario. So for the important thing is like upside is good. You can, risk to reward ratio is fine. You can enter in this trade, and you can hold it till 0.5 0.50. Yep. This guys, the next stock what you were saying?
It was T Gold.
T Gold.
T Gold. Gold. God. Gold.
T Gold.
Yeah.
Anyone trading in the gold market? I mean to say, any stocks in the gold, like Barrick or some other?
Yeah, I had Barrick and I sold it. It wasn't
Because
going up, but
it
I
is
just sold
little
that one.
volatile and it's good, unlike the oil prices, the crude oil. The crude oil is like low. When we talk about the stock prices, the oil energy sector, always look at the crude price. The crude price is like under pressure these days, so you will find many energy stocks down, but this is the good buying time. Okay. T got zoom out. This is the ultimate resistance. I will draw the ultimate resistance here. Okay. But before hitting this resistance level, it will have a resistance here at this point too. Well, this was the turning point. This will not be a very strong one, but still it can act as a resistance here. So this is the channel 0.61 to 65. You will see the resistance. So you are if you are here now, this stock is currently is near its support level. It has taken a support, and actually this stock looks good. Why? Because it has a downside price rejection. The price a market rejected the downward price of 0.41. Number one, it opened at the same point. There's no gap up. Okay, no gap up or gap down. And this is neutral. And the good point is like the downward trend and downward price rejection. So downward price rejection and closing price was actually it opened little low. The opening, sorry, this one opening and the closing. So there was a gap up opening. Yes, there was a gap up opening for this stock, and then the price closed above the opening price. That's why it's green. The 2 points. The third point is downside price rejection, and this candle we normally call it a hammer. Hammer is a type of candle in which there is a downside price rejection, and the wick is 3 times the size of the body. Just remember it. When we will discuss, I will give you more details on that. So this is hammer. Whenever the hammer candle is formed, there is a change in the trend, and it indicates upward trend. So you will see this will be in upward trend. Two things to consider here: gap up opening last time formed a green candle, downside price rejection, hammer candle. So this all indicates a bullish trend in the stock. So this stock gonna be bullish. So if you're holding this stock, hold it till it reaches this level of 0.660, where you can plan your you selling, and then you can re-enter the trade whenever it is feasible. RSI the same comment, moving up positive. MACD is about to change the trend. Though it has given a little shift, but Monday movement will be very important in for the MACD point of view. Volumes are although still low. Many of the guys are not
I have a
trading in this.
question, please.
Yep.
So for this seed guard, will it be wise to like set a limit sell for 60 cents by Monday?
I'm not getting you. There is a noise at the background. Can you repeat?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my question is, will it be wise to now set a limit sell for this stock on Monday to 60 cents?
Yes, you can. But let's see if but I'm not sure if it's going to this point on Monday. It will go at this level, but when this is depends on the market movements. Maybe you can find the stock showing a resistance at this level. It can also act as a resistance. Let me draw a line here as well.
From my perspective, hold it for the little more time, because they recently had a tie-up with shoppers. So all the T-Gods product are gonna sell on the shoppers, and that was the day when that share rise up to 0.6. So once market will be open, you will see big changes in the stock price, because shoppers are the one of the biggest medicine market in Canada. So they got the tie-up with the shoppers. They are definitely going to be increase in sales. If you want to hold it for a little bit long, it would be better, because in the end of June, Ontario and other provinces are going to be open. Like now they are opening in the second phase. They are going to open in the full-fledged third phase. So you can see big changes in the month of July if you can hold it for that time. Otherwise, you can if you want to have some like 20%, 25% or 30% profit from your investing, you can get in like coming weeks very easily.
Exactly. So from that point of view, if you are like doing a swing trade, that will be more likely short to medium term investing. So you can hold it. And any news, guys, if there is a news, I always say follow the news. All the fundamental technicals, they become zero in front of news. So like you guys, while we are discussing some stocks, if you are aware of any of the news, whether related to these stock which we are discussing or any other stock as well, just share the news for the benefit of all. So since there is a news, it can even break this when the market is open. It can even break this resistance level, since it has a history of this going up. So the answer is currently it is an uptrend. Hope that answers. Now we will take the last stock for the day, and we will finish this session, and we will meet in our next sessions. Yes, guys, the last stock.
SCL, please. This is Ejaz.
Sure, yes. SCL, sure.
Thank you.
Welcome. SCL will not disappoint you, I'll say.
Yeah.
Because
I think most members in this group has monitored the stock this week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even I even I bought at 3.35 and then it dropped to 2.65 or
yeah.
68 and I was like
It was
I
like
don't
I
it was
missed this
I
one.
don't have
I
it
was
now.
hoping it to go below
I was like I should wait for some
dollars.
more time.
I don't have it now. Just wondering when should I enter.
Uh,
Yeah, so for guys who have started taking interest in SCL, I would say those who didn't buy up to Thursday, um, just hold on. It's again showing upward trend, and wait
yeah.
for its next dip to buy it.
So let me real quick here. This is the resistance and this is the support level here. Support level. You can say this one actually. Okay, let me change the color. Support level. I hope the lines are visible, or I need to make it a little bold. Okay, this is the resistance 5.09. Little bit. Yep, almost 5. This is the resistance level, and support level is for this stock seems to be at 2.37, although it didn't touch exactly at 2.37, but here it touched multiple times. It was a very close to its support level. So that's one point here, and this stock is in currently an upward trend, and it has the potential to go till 5. So you can have your uh, your target price around 4.9 or something. You can easily have 4.9 as your target price, and it is positive RSI positive. Yes, it has MACD also, yes, positive. It has started diverging. Volumes are extraordinarily high, almost like double than the average volume, and from the last 3 days also the volumes were high. So I'm expecting a gap up opening here, and if you find a gap up opening, don't enter after that, because then the upside will be very less. Think from the risk reward ratio. Upside will be less, like it will be around $1 or even less, around $1 on average, and the downside will be more than $1. Currently, at this point, who have this at this point, you will be holding now. Like if currently if you're holding, then you need to wait till it reaches the resistance level, and it might not break the resistance level and fall down. It's the first time it is hitting this level after it has started plunging down. So hold it till till it reaches 5, sell it again and buy it again now. So if you have not yet bought, so be very careful, because I'm expecting a gap up opening, and then the upside will be very less on this stock, and downside will be little more. Risk and reward ratio might not hold good if you buy at the higher price in the coming sessions. Yeah.
Yeah,
Any
and
comments here? Yeah.
yeah, and just to add to Tahir's analysis, those who are currently holding the stock and planning for long term, I would suggest to keep it uh, for long term. As you can see from its history,
Yeah.
that its average before COVID is quite high.
Right,
So
you can see 11. It has if the next, by the way, the next level can be 11 in not a very long term. In you can say in a couple of months, few months, you will see this when we are open back again. So it can easily reach till 11. This is for the investors, not for the swing traders.
yeah, so those who are having it, our recommendation would be to keep it for at least for 2 months. It might give you
Yep.
better, higher
Yeah,
return.
but again, it all depends upon your strategy. You are an investor or you are a trader. If you are a trader, you can never hold this at for 2 months, and you can say I will be holding my, let's say, $1,000, 1,000 stock, 1,000 shares, and I will be like at, let's say, if I buy to $3,000, and then I'm getting a gain. I'm selling it at 11,000, so I will get a gain of like 8,000. Okay, $8,000 in 2 months, which is not bad actually. But let's say if it is 2 months or what time frame. But if you see, like, in those 2 months I can make even more than 8,000. If you see, then go with that. It all depends upon your strategy. But going for the beginners, going risk free is a good idea, or a
Yeah.
minimal risk.
So for us, since we are retail investing, and most especially for members who are looking for long term, my recommendation would be to hold. And if someone is, as Tahir mentioned, if someone is doing trading for short term, they could follow the levels
Okay.
which Tahir suggested.
Okay, yeah. Okay, guys, thank you very much for joining us today, and I hope you enjoyed it. Still, it's very good to see, like, still we have like retained so many, like, a good number till the end of like 2.5 hours. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for being with us for like 2.5 hours, and like credit goes to you. Like, you, thank you for bearing us for 2.5 hours, and we always, try to stick it like 1.5 hour, but we never succeeded. Actually, the first session I can recall, it was like 3 hours. So then again, last time 2 hours, now again 2.5. So we'll try next time to stick to the timelines. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Thank you for
Thank you.
joining. If you still have some
Thank
questions,
you.
you can ask, and we will be uploading this video very soon, and you can have your questions, and some more videos coming in on the short lessons like support resistance, RSI, and this stuff, and you can go that way and have a look. If still you have questions, feel free to ask. Okay, guys, thank you very much. I'll
Thank
be
you,
ending this
everyone.
call. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank
Tahir.
you. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
guys.
Kamal. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Tahir.
Yeah,
Thank you, Kamal.
Yeah. Bye. Have a nice weekend, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you too.